Well, happy Thursday. Welcome to Truth to Power. You're here with Dr. Matthews, the accountability specialist. We have Mr. Wendell King, the communication and political consultant. We have Aurelia, the identity professor. And then we have our new co-host, Mr. Dean Sneal, which is also a political consultant. So, hi, everyone. How y'all doing today?
Hi, how are you?
What's going on?
Good.
Pretty good.
Dr. Matthews, don't forget we also have Dr. Goodlove.
I was just about to say that. I'm like, and let's not forget our awesome, exemplary production manager, which is Dr. Goodlove. This is why you see all of this HBO special type podcast we got going on.
Well, the first thing I thought about was what
the
does it stand for? I was start thinking, what could the H and the B and the O stand for us? I'm not going to say what I thought.
Right now.
Okay.
So we're going to have
Guys, happy Thursday, everybody.
Yes, happy Thursday.
We done made it.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're here one day for the weekend.
Yes, indeed. Happy Friday Eve.
Well, this is gonna
Three
be
a 3-day weekend on top of that.
okay.
Yeah, happy Labor Day, everybody.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Is it Labor Day weekend?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, the
Yeah,
year
that time down, honey. Well, you know
Yes,
what?
why?
Be a special Thursday interview because you're going to get to know who we are, and you're going to get to know what we stand for and what gives us the drive to move the way we move. So I am very excited about this, and I'm sure everybody is excited. So let's give the people, let them know who we are and what we stand for.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Dr. Matthews, because you, my dear, are first on the chopping block. I think the folks deserve to know who Dr. Candace with an I, Matthews with an S is all about, what she does, where she's from, what she rep. What's good?
Okay. Well, I'm Dr. Candace Matthews, and I am from the north side of Houston. Okay, yes, thank you. Also, basically, what I do, I am a business owner. I own Children of Diversity Foster Adoption Agency. We've been in business for 11 years now. Thank you, God. It's been very successful, and I am a diehard advocate when it comes to dealing with children and children that are in foster care, as well as parents whose children has been taken from them wrongfully. Okay. And I'm about holding Texas Department of Family and Protective Services and also residential child care licensing to the fire with them doing a job and not breaking Texas penal codes. Now, I also wear another hat, which I am the statewide accountability chair for the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, which is the Texas Black Caucus. And I basically hold elected officials accountable to make sure that they do their job. And so what happens is different facets of how that works. We have an actual committee where we all meet every Monday, and we discuss different benchmarks that we're going to address. We also have legislative agendas that we definitely are going to hit for this upcoming legislative session. And then also I stir up a lot of good trouble, because what happens when we have elected officials that we find that are not doing their job, like our Houston chief of police, for one. Number two, let's look at Texas Department of Criminal Justice for three. Let's look at the president of the Texas Bar Association. Should I go on? It's a lot. So the main thing is we bring these issues out. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these people are scared to say something. Even I have constituents that contact me to let me know that something ain't right in their area. So I'm the one that get on the phone and call one of these politicians on their cell phone, be like, we need to have a conversation because this, and this. So I believe I got tired of politicians coming in trying to get our vote by telling us what we want to hear and not having the stats, right? And that's why with the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, I'm also in that arena with endorsements. So now we have your legislative scorecard. We have your scorecard if you are a judge with the Texas Bar Association. We pull up anything that's, put it this way, your job description. I even created the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats Accountability Committee. We have evaluation tools where we evaluate you on your job. So it's not like, oh, okay, we just gonna see what you're doing and that's it. Because see, I got tired of this, y'all. I got tired of these folks coming in here telling us what we want to hear to make us feel good, and then we gonna go on and endorse you. Now, tell me about why you didn't do this during legislative session. Tell me why you run around here got this amount on your Texas Bar Association rate. You telling me 463 people lying on you? I don't think so. Tell me why you with the SJC, you have the top numbers, correct, of inmates in Harris County Jail that's on low violent crime. But you want to come in here and you want our vote and you rank number one, get out of here. Or tell me you coming to a black caucus wanting our endorsement, but then you have a picture holding the noose. Oh, you didn't think I can pull it up, huh? Oh, that part.
Your passion is so real.
Let's even talk about, I mean, it's so real. I pull up the stats to the fact where I request their regulations. I go through it with a fine-tooth comb. And if I find something not right, I'm going to use it against you. Then if it's really something not right, I'm going to put you on the news. So either I can be the helping hand or I can be the hammer.
So you're the lady that runs through the street with the camera. You're the woman running on the camera with your phone saying, I got you.
No, I don't got to do that. I just call the camera people with a letter. See, I'm the one that shoots the shots fired letter. That's what I do. Okay. Yeah, you won't get the letter. So when you get the letter, just know you about to be on the news after this letter. Like, even with dealing with social injustices, you know what I mean? Like, see, since this 2020 been going on, we've been having folks run around here think it's okay to put racist rhetoric, knowing that you a whole police officer and don't think we not gonna come for you. Lies you make.
Well, Dr. Matthews, do you find it hard, being in these various spaces, being Black and being a woman? Like, how do those things tie in together?
I don't find it hard at all because I push my way through. Just like that. And if you don't like it, well, baby, too bad. Because I'm coming and I want the stuff. I want it. And if you can't give it to me, then I'm going to put you on the news and make you give it to me.
Yes, ma'am.
So you want the heat.
I want it. No, I bring.
No, she brings the heat.
I'm just gonna say this: with legislative session, y'all, I am such a mess when it comes to that, and everybody be laughing because they know when I'm coming, it's gonna be an issue. I am the troublemaker. I walk to the back through the Capitol. I don't even got to go through the metal detector nothing because they know I'm gonna come there starting some stuff. And the Texas State Troopers be like, Dr. Matthews, what you about to do today? I say, oh, nothing. I'm just about to try to see who I can get to do some stuff. And baby, call them out. Republicans call. But see, when I do it though, I don't call it out with no he say, she say stuff. I have the facts. And especially like with CPS and licensing, when y'all run around here trying to make your own rules, and then y'all over here tearing up our families behind this and lying to judges behind this. So now I'm about to bring the Texas Rangers in there because somebody got to go to jail.
Yes, ma'am.
That's me in a nutshell, y'all. Accountability.
That's me in a nutshell.
We gonna start calling you the lady of accountability.
Yes, I
LA.
Or you just call it Red Bull in dress with a sparkle jacket. Because I
like Lady A. I like Lady A better. I don't know why. Lady A.
I even go to the White House too, because I gave Ted Cruz a run for his money at the White House. Baby, if y'all go on my social media, you have to look in the pictures. You'll see me with my hand on my hips, with my little north side bun, with my swoop bangs and Texas boots, and I'm telling him, so where's the funding for human trafficking? I ain't here for this. I want to have tea with you. Where's the funding?
All right.
Okay, so I want to.
We know about Dr. Matthews now.
Let's find out about the identity professor. First of all, identity professor, who are you? What is your platform? Let the viewers know. What is your drive?
So my name is Aurelia Johnson. I am a 2-time graduate from the Texas Southern University. I am a soon-to-be graduate from Howard University. I'm just waiting on my committee to make up their minds about my final defense date. The identity professor is a term that was coined by one of the hottest sisters in communications and marketing, Zakia Larry. I worked with her.
Oh, wow.
And so it really just boils down to all of my academics, or the majority of my academics, deal with identity, whether it's a social construct dealing with race, gender, whether it's your sexual orientation, just how you show up in spaces. And from that, I'm able to run a company called The Own Project. The Own Project is based off of 3 tenets. It's self-love, healing, and acceptance. And so I really deal with women and children in personal and professional development. And so we do workshops. One of the signature events that we do is called Pillow Talk. Pillow Talk is it's like a bedroom candy passion party event on steroids. So we do everything. We do how to take care of the vagina, to the anatomy of the vagina, to how to do you wax or shave. We talk about, owning who you are. We talk about trauma. We talk about somatic techniques to deal with trauma. We talk about everything. We talk about the gamut. We talk about desire. We talk about pleasure. We talk about it in very unapologetic, very Sunnyside, Texas ways.
Hey, now, sound like to me, I need to bring my WAP over there so I can see what I need.
Yes, I mean, we were talking about WAP before we called them. My WAP before, they were called, right?
Okay.
What you call it, the PUSS capital C?
There you go.
It's we have times when women we sessions where they name their pause. You know what I mean? And you go home, have people to reintroduce themselves to her. So I mean, just the Own Project is unapologetically in your face, and it's really unapologetically about owning your space and your destiny, and that's what I do in the community.
I love that. That is so well said.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I did write a book. It is on Amazon. It's called Thick. So please, Son, I did write a book. It's called Thick. It's the Emperor.
Thick. Come on with it.
Perfection. It's about perfection, or this illusion that America projects as perfection. And then the social constructs that basically kind of have women pigeonholed. And so it's an interactive book. And so you start out and there's these real interviews. These women are live. We're women. They're not fake. I did use pseudonyms, to protect their identities because it's some very vulnerable information that they shared. And then as well as you go and you ask yourself these questions that I asked the women. And then there are these stories that talk about how women show up in these spaces and all of these very complicated ways that life can twist and turn them. And then by the end of the book, you write yourself your affirmation, and it's just about you owning who you are. Like every day, I will, I am, I must own it. And so that's my book, and you can find it on Amazon.
Well, I'm gonna buy that book.
Thanks,
Yes, you should definitely send the links, and definitely I know a lot of our listeners would definitely like to read stuff like that. I know for me, I definitely spread the word on that, because that's something
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm
I
intrigued.
can get it from my sisters. And
I'm
stuff.
very intrigued and thick.
Okay, period.
We just out here trying to, do things in the world that are different. It's difficult being a Black woman in America. It's difficult being a woman in America. It's most definitely difficult when you start adding other social identities to intersect with being Black and being a woman. Right. And so you just have to give women these spaces. And I also give men these same spaces. I think it is extremely important for men to be able to have very safe, non-judgmental, emotional spaces where they can be vulnerable and take off the mask for those days. And so I have sessions where there's sisters and brothers together. There's sessions where brothers are, by themselves. There are sessions where I actually have, people across the gender spectrum, and I just kind of throw them in an environment. What are you going to do? All of these kinds of people show up. Do you turn your back on them, or do you see the humanity in them and the dignity, and actually even addressing them as being human? And so those are the kinds of events that the Own Project does. And it's a lot of work, but we have food, we drink, we can take a little libation, put a little libation in things, and we eat really well at our caterer that we use. And we have a really good time, and I'm not scared of any topic. So whether it's shafts or clitorises, we're gonna talk about it.
You know what? That's a good thing too.
But though, I think that's very profound and very needed, because you know why? You'll be surprised. You have grown folks that don't know how to clean themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They need to know how to rejuvenate, that precious area. You have women right now that'll be dressed down to the T, honey, and don't know how to clean.
Well, it's not just cleaning. Like, we always want to talk about the vagina like it's this very mysterious monster that people don't fight and pay for to. But it's about your diet.
$40.
Yeah, it's about your diet. It's about whether you smoke. It's about your age. It's about where you are in the month. When it comes to your menstrual cycle, it's about what are you drinking? Do you drink enough water? It's a lot of it's. Are you stressed? Is the person that you're having sex with, are they stressed? What is their pH balance like? Is it in conflict with yours? There's a lot of things that goes into making.
Do you know how to clean it? Do you know what stuff to clean it?
Yeah, it comes to that too.
On the pot. Do you know how to sit on the yoni pot? Do you know how to sit down?
We do steams. Do steams. All of those things. We talk about.
We talk about vagina health. That Dr. Identity Professor. I got you, girl.
Yes, ma'am. So that's what we do. We talk about all of that.
I like the part where you said that you have people of different backgrounds, ethnicities on the spectrum, because sometimes what people don't realize is a lot of people don't realize how much they have in common with other people until you put them in a room together. Like, you may have somebody that may come off as homophobic, but it's because they don't realize these people go through the same stuff you go through every day. The only thing that separates them is who they sleep with in the bed.
That's all it is.
And that's all it is.
That's all it is. Sometimes they sleep with the same kinds of people.
Yeah, they'd rather use water instead of a rag.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
I can't.
So, Dean, you are the newest addition and one of the most wonderful additions we've had to Power. And so, tell us about you. Who are you, Dean? And what do you do? I know you are part of the D9, Dean. I did see you shimmying a little bit on your social media.
Oh, shoot. I know you saw that.
Yeah, I saw that, Dean.
Oh, crap. Oh, okay.
So
I am.
So he shipped.
Oh, he shipped.
A little bit.
We got a diamond in the sky with the
So,
Give me right quick.
well, you know,
Don't do it.
you know, I can't. I'm sitting down, so you know, it ain't gonna be what I want it to be. But just know the shoulders do get wet. They get wet. They get
All the
wet.
shoulders get
Okay,
wet.
they get wet. They get them wet.
Good shoulders.
All right. But y'all making me feel shocked. I'm very well. Crimson and cream.
Okay.
No, black is something that we don't usually, you know.
Technically, it's shocking pink, but okay.
Oh, you mean intensified pink? That's what they call it.
What is pink?
That's what they call. That's what I know the AKAs call red. They call it intensified pink.
Oh, is that what they call it?
See,
Yeah.
the diva, the old school K, we call it shocking pink.
Yeah, I call it shocking pink.
My mama, back when she pledged in the 70s, that's what
Called it shocking pink. Okay, yeah. I've only heard of intensified pink. But I'll definitely put that in my Rolodex. Shocking pink.
I'm not gonna put it in my Rolodex. My color is white. So this
Your color is what? What's your color?
And white.
Oh, and white. Okay.
My God.
All right.
So tell us more about you, like
Purity.
you know what you've done,
Okay.
platform,
So,
education, background,
I
what you
am
stand for.
But I like to joke with everybody. As you guys can see, I'm probably like one of the jokesters. I think everybody here jokes, but I like to lighten the mood a little bit. I am in education. I am a teacher by trade. I teach 8th grade English. I went to, well, first of all, I'm from Miami, Florida, Magic City, and it's called Magic City for many of reasons. And if you've ever been to Miami, you know why they call it Magic City.
Oh, I got to go.
Okay. So
I didn't get
I'm
any
from
magic
Miami. Oh, that sucks. You probably went to the wrong part. Next time you go, let me know. I'll tell you where to go. All right. But I graduated from the Florida Memorial University, birthplace of Lift Every Voice and Sing. So whenever you sing Lift Every Voice and Sing, just know that song was made at the university that I graduated from, that I am an alumnus of. The Florida Memorial University. I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, Fraternity Incorporated, Crimson and Cream, just so you guys will know. Well, basically, like I said, I'm an educator. I live here now in Atlanta, Georgia. I am a head football coach. I am also assistant wrestling coach. So I do a couple of things in the school. I have this program at my school called I call it the Elite 18, but they kind of transform into the Legacy League, which is about 18. I choose 18 8th graders, and I try to follow them through high school. So this will be my 3rd year doing it. And I follow them through high school and try to kind of motivate them on making sure that they're prepared for like the ACT, SAT, making sure that they know what classes they need to take and to remain steadfast in what they want to do. So basically, I'm just going over the stuff that I kind of do. So the Legacy League, basically what I do with these kids is I kind of see what they want to do, and they all have certain goals that they want to achieve when they get to college, and it's just making sure that they do that. So my next goal with this is to incorporate the organization and try to get these kids full ride scholarships by the time they get out of college. So that's the goal. Because I feel like
Now we got you on here as the political specialist. So tell us a little bit about that background.
I gotta get through this first to get to that, because I started as an educator. In college I was a international. I minored in international politics and science. So of course, like politics is something that I've always enjoyed since I was a kid. I moved in Florida. I worked with the Florida Republican Party, and when I moved to Texas, I started working with the Harris County Republican Party of Texas. That's where the name Dean kind of came into place. Is because people always said I was always teaching people things that they did not know, so I stuck with that name, Dean, and I became Dean Snell in my political world. I worked as a political commentator. I went on the AJ stream a couple of times during the 2016 election. I also worked with Ted Cruz, Tim Scott, and a couple of other Black conservatives in Houston, Texas. So that's where my background kind of stems from. I worked on policy with some Republicans. Worked in the Texas State House. Definitely went there for Minority Day for the Republican Party. And yeah, it's a lot. I have a long list of things that I've done within my lifetime that I can kind of go on and on and on and on and on about. But now I'm here in Georgia. I started a podcast called Unpacking Politics with Dean because so many people started asking me about things that was happening in the day-to-day things with politics that they didn't understand. So I saw a need, see a need, feel a need. Yeah. And I got that from a movie called Robots. I know that's a little kids movie, but I got that from that movie. You see a need, you feel a need, and that's basically what I did. And coming to Truth to Power was something that was great because I see you guys saw a need and you're trying to fill it, and I'm like, well, let me add myself to it so I can help fill that need because so far, all of us bring something great to the show. So we all see a need and we all feel a need.
Absolutely. I like that. See the need.
Yes. That's awesome.
I need a shade fan that says that.
Everybody don't get you a fan for Christmas. A different fan.
We gonna have it. Just tell us all the stuff you want on the fan, and we'll make sure we get all of it.
Says I said what I said.
I'm writing them down right now.
Nene gonna sue you over there.
No, but I'm gonna put a Texas tang to it so she can't sue me for it.
You gonna say I said with it?
Yeah, I'm saying said. I'm gonna put the north side. It's what
right. That's what I was thinking.
S-E-D. With the clap. I said.
Right. Oh, also.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So one thing that I'm pushing for within the next 2 years also is to run for a state house position here in the state of Georgia. So right now I'm kind of like I'm kind of like Mr. Wendell King here. I don't run for anything unless I know I'm going to win. So you got to kind of have to, I'm viewing the optics. I'm positioning myself. I'm an independent as of now, and that's one of the reasons why I know I want to run, but I want to make sure that I'm affiliated with a party because we all know that being an independent is really hard to win any position with the climate that we're in politics. You're either Democrat or Republican. People don't have time. People now are like, I don't have time to be voting for an independent. You either Democrat or you're Republican. So right now it's just a matter of, at this point, I know I'm not going to the Republican Party, not here in the state of Georgia, when they electing QAnon people into the, so
isn't that
I guess, I'll be probably a Democrat in like a year or two.
Welcome.
Listen, I accept the welcome. Like I said, I've always worked with Democrats. I mean, I have some Democratic family members, and I think they've been big on making sure that I understand both sides of the aisle. So I've always been a progressive. I just, thought I could always work within the Republican Party to push progressivism as well. Because, one party pushing one thing and the other party not, it always ends up being a fight. But if you can get in and make both kind of see the same, make both parties or make both parties see that progressivism is good for everybody. It's not a Republican or a Democratic thing. It's an everybody thing because when we progress or when we have push progressive policies, it makes the country better because it makes everybody else better.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So y'all be looking out for me 2022 and in 2024. I've already said I'm going to be running for Secretary of State for the state of Georgia. Now that is a goal right there because have spent 3 to 4 years inside of the state. So
wow.
Well, we coming to volunteer for the campaign. Well, I'm coming.
I would appreciate it. I would appreciate it.
We coming.
I would appreciate it.
Well, if you run on the Democratic ticket, you're going to have to hire me.
I got you. Listen, I already said, when I said that, I don't believe in running. I don't believe in running unless I win. And I hinted at you. I was trying to hint at you without hinting at you. You know. So
I got it.
I heard chiefs of staffs are important roles in campaigns.
They really are.
No,
You prefer to be my chief of staff.
don't make me do it. Because he's so subtle with it too. I like
the next interview. We want to make sure that our beloved, very auspicious, well-spoken, well-read, data dancing around individual is highlighted in this podcast. And so we have to interview our very own Wendell King.
You are so dramatic. That was so dramatic. I like drama. I like drama.
Interpretation. So that's how we get along.
Listen, what you? I mean, you can't just haphazardly introduce a legend. I can't even try to trick up. You can't.
You can't haphazardly introduce a king, you know.
You know, yes.
Okay.
The North Side King.
Thanks to the daddy I didn't know. No, I'm just playing. I'm like, thanks to the daddy I didn't really know.
So tell us about you. I mean, you're saying, you know, everything. You are, you know, still a part of the debate team. You are still very much a part of Third Ward Texas. You are, you know, a constant in a lot of our lives coming up, especially young team members who've come up after you. So, you know, just give us, you know, in depth the things that you are into and what we can expect from you in the future.
Well, thank you, Aurelia. I am also a product of the illustrious Texas Southern University, Texas State College for Negroes, Houston College for Negroes, however you want to put it. That is me and it is I. I am also, I mean, I do a lot. Thank God I've been blessed. I was a part of many things. But my journey was just different, I guess, from most because I started off as a dancer. I specialized in ballet and tap, and so my goal was to always be with Alvin Ailey Dance Company. And so my senior year of high school, some things took a change, and I met a young lady by the name of Carol Douglas when I won the national NAACP AXO in DC for dance, and Carol Douglas was the president of the Houston chapter. And that's how I came to Texas Southern. Actually, her husband at the time was Dr. James Douglas. And she asked me then to come to Texas Southern University and take over the dance program. And I was still in high school. And that was a big deal. When I say take over the dance program, I mean like all of the extracurricular dance areas. And it was a big deal because I was still in high school. So that brought me to TSU. I ran track all through high school, so I was able to get a scholarship in track, and I had a scholarship through that, what I was doing as far as the dance program. And then when I got to TSU, I was introduced to a man by the name of Dr. Thomas F. Freeman, and I was so amazed by everything that he did. So in every part of me, I wanted to be just like him. Absolutely. And I wanted to follow in his footsteps, and he was a master communicator. Anyone that knows about him knows his background definitely, and they know the people that he shaped. And so I wanted to be one of those people. I wanted to be one of those persons that he shaped. And so I fell in love with Dr. Freeman, and I joined the TSU debate team, and I kind of catapulted fast in that arena. And so that brought me into politics. Obviously, when you're dealing with debate, you're being beat over the head with politics all day long. But believe it or not, before college, I didn't have any passion for politics at all. That was the furthest thing from my mind. My mind was on dance. So my senior year after high school, I was welcomed into the Summer Workshop Academy at Alvin Ailey Dance School of Harlem. And I went there and I realized that there was more to me than that. And so I had to figure out a way. So I accepted the enrollment at Texas Southern University because I was already there. So it was just an easy thing. I was following behind Dr. Freeman's tail. So that was smart. And so I just excelled quite well, thank God. And so from that, I am now I'm the national vice president for the National Parliamentary Debate Association. I'm an executive officer for the International Speech Forensics Association. I'm a member of the Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner's LGBTQ plus advisory board. And I do own my own business, W2K Communications, where I teach you how to use your voice. But away from that, I just try and always move with passion in mind. And so I don't do anything if I'm not passionate about it. So anything that I do, I become overwhelmed. So you know how people say, you don't have emotional intelligence. That's me. Right? I have no emotional intelligence over anything that I do with passion because my emotion is what's guiding me to do it in the first place. And the moment I take my emotions out of it, my heart has been removed also. And I refuse to remove my heart from things that I care about. So I care about my communities, be it Black or be it LGBTQ or be it man. I care about all three, and they are all three synonymous. We run together. I don't pick one over the other. When I breathe one time. So I don't breathe for each character of me. And that's just it. I am an author. I do have 2 new books that are pushed through now. I have Space and Sanctuary and Disruptive Peace. Disruptive Peace is a book about a man that is maneuvering through politics and staying in his space and forcing his space on other people rather than other people forcing their space on him. And then, of course, Space and Sanctuary is a book of short stories and poetry. I decided to write a book about my life because I thought it was very unique. But what I decided to do was write it in the form of short stories and poetry to tell the story of Wendell. And I've decided to do it in that way because Wendell is not a household name, so I need to do something that will push through. But that's everything in a nutshell. Is I'm just big about me, and I believe that we are all connected. And so being big about me means that I'm big about each of you, and I'm big about anybody who's watching this show, because if you fall, I fall. If you stand, I stand. So that's just the way I see things. I refuse to see it any other way. I believe in my God. I believe in my relationship with him, and I think that it is beautiful, and he has maneuvered me quite well. But I also understand that there are things that we must challenge, and that's why I like this show so much, because we must challenge things. We must challenge status quo. However that may look in that moment, it must be challenged. And so that's what I see truth to power as. I see that as an opportunity to speak truth to power, as we did earlier this week. When you have views that may collide at times, but that's literally how we learn. You know, if everybody is monolithic, then we're not really capturing anything, Right. So we have to learn how to have disagreements, but walk away with one agreement, and that is knowledge, more knowledge, because I must understand you and your path in order for you to hopefully care about my path. So that's everything in a nutshell. I am just a fighter for truth. Hallelujah.
Because you mentioned Dr. Thomas F. Freeman, and there are 3 people here who've been directly impacted by his life and his legacy and who he is. And so if there was one thing that you could capture your experience with him, your time with him, what would that one thing be?
Well, I mean, after Dr. Freeman passed this year during the pandemic season, I did 1 million interviews, and it seemed like that was a common question. And I told them all the same thing. As assistant coach under Dr. Freeman for a decade, for 10 years, I was an assistant coach under Dr. Freeman. I had the beauty of throwing his birthday parties every single year. So I did his birthday every year from 90 to 100. I did his birthday party, but there was nothing more touching to me than his 100th birthday, when it was 1 million people there and there was 1 million things going on. And for whatever reason, he was screaming my name. Everybody was screaming my name because Dr. Freeman needed me. And I'm thinking something has gone wrong. What is wrong with Dr. Freeman? I run over to him, and he's in the middle of all of this boom, boom. And he only wanted to tell me thank you. And I think that was a moment for me, because in the midst of all of the shine and glory that he was getting because he deserved it, he felt like he needed to stop and pause to tell me thank you. And so that was a moment that I would never forget, because unfortunately, that was his last birthday that he was able to have. And so I will always know that he died satisfied with me. And so
Absolutely.
I can now live the rest of my life knowing that I've already satisfied him. So I just now want to go above and beyond his satisfaction.
Absolutely.
That was beautiful.
It was. And I'm sitting here trying to hold myself together.
Yeah, I need
Absolutely.
to, in the words of Dr. Glow, I need to change the channel before I get emotional. And
Right.
so I want us to bring our producer,
Hey,
our hostess with the mostest, the stern steering wheel, the aggressive yet tantalizing, the mature yet immature. I'm just playing. That was a joke. He's not immature publicly. But I want to make sure that I bring Dr. Good Luck, and I'm not going to say his last name because he always acts as though he's not offended when I say it wrong, but I say it wrong anyway, so I'm going to give the honor of saying his own last name right now. Can you tell us about you? What it is that you do, and what is it that you want out of this thing that we call life?
Well, first off, thank you for the introduction. Coach Wendell is how I call him, Coach Wendell, because I was on the debate team while he was an assistant coach, and he was probably one of the most influential coaches that I had at that time. Dr. Freeman, he was there helping, but it was the assistant coaches that really held the reins to really teach us what we needed to know. And Coach Wendell was who really got me all started. I had no experience in politics. All I know is I saw my dad watching CNN growing up, and I said, I'm never going to be like him. And now CNN is that's my suggestions on YouTube now. But my name is Dr. Goodluck Ijeze Dubois, and I was born in Montreal, Canada, by way of a Nigerian immigrant and a lady who just fell in love with his swag. And so so I was born in Montreal, Canada, but I was raised in Sunnyside, Houston.
Oh.
And my background is a little bit interesting because it actually touches with something that Dr. Matthews deal with, and that's foster homes. So at one point in my life, I was in a foster home, but by the grace of God, my biological father was able to regain custody of me. And that whole story itself is a book. So hopefully I'll be releasing that one day. But my background is in pharmacy, which is a little bit different than production, but I've always challenged myself to learn new skills and to push myself. And, if one thing I learned from my dad is how to hustle and make a coin. So, it's haven't failed me yet. I've been fortunate to start two businesses of my own, two that are a little bit different. I have a professional private tutoring business that has actually helped me throughout pharmacy school. I had the privilege, as crazy as it sounds, to help tutor people in their MBA program, nurses trying to get their bachelor's. Somehow, some way, they needed help reading, and I was able to read, and I was able to tell them what they needed to know, and they passed their classes. So that's all I can say. I've helped many individuals with who had I want to say disdain, like they hated mathematics, and I've been able to actually make them smile by the end of that session. And the mother would walk in and say, wow, I've never seen them smile like that. And that's why I have a desire to teach later on after I've practiced pharmacy and, get paid off my loans and stuff, because I really have a passion to help those see where they can be. I didn't start off with the best schools. I started off in Sunnyside, and if you know Sunnyside, they don't have the highest property taxes, so they working with what they're working with. And I went to Crispus Attucks, and at that time I wasn't motivated. I did well, passed all my standardized tests and everything, but I didn't have any spunk. But fortunate, I was able to go to DeBakey High School for Health Professions, and that's where they really challenged me. And I want to be that tutor or that teacher that show someone what they can do. A lot of times people limit themselves based off of what their parents was able to achieve. Their parents would say, well, I was horrible at math. And then so now that their children would take that same identity and say, well, I'm horrible at math. I'm never going to never get into a career that requires math. I don't know why I have to learn math. And it's ultimately my desire to help change their perspective. You don't have to be confounded based off of somebody else's limitations. And I did a speech one time, and at the end it was talking about Will Smith in a movie that he was in. I don't recall, but he had a son, and they was on a basketball court. Will Smith tried to go to his son tried to shoot a ball. He said, I'm going to be the best basketball player ever. And Will Smith, the character, said, you won't, because I was never able to. And the son got disappointed. But what the Will Smith character said at the end, I forgot his name, that's why I keep saying that. He said that, don't ever let somebody else tell you what you can't do just because they were not able to, even if it's me as the father. So you have to see your potential outside of your surroundings, and that's the only way you're going to actually be able to move forward. And so that's something that I really hold with a passion, and I've been blessed to be that inspiration. I had a lot of kids who they still reach out to me telling me, can you believe it? Now I'm in my AP calculus and I'm still doing well. When I first met them, they were making F's in math. I tutor other subjects, but that's just the one that, a lot of people struggle with. So that's one of them. My next business that I just started doing actually with this podcast is digital production. I've always been like a photographer wannabe type, but I'm the one that goes around with their phone, and then their phone is their camera. But by the time I edit everything, people be like, man, that's a good picture. What kind of camera you got? So and that just ultimately led me to video production. And I've been fortunate enough to join this platform, which I truly believe is necessary in terms of being that voice that educates while also, being a voice that creates change. Because there's a lot of podcasts out there, especially during the corona. Everybody want to get their minds out there because they're so bored and they tired of talking to themselves, so they want to talk to other people. But when I first saw this podcast, I saw that there was an educational value to it. You will leave with something that you did not know before, and you will be able to now make better choices going forward, or know how to make the people who are supposed to be working for you actually work for you by holding them accountable. You learn the communication skills that you need. You learn about who you are, your identity, and you can get inspired to not be scared of the politics. A lot of people, millennials, they're scared of the politics because they see that being as this big field that's scary. And so that's why I really wanted to come on the show, and fortunately I've been able to do so. And that's me.
Well, that's a lot. Good luck is very modest, but good luck is, I forgot, I don't remember, we were at an international competition. We had taken them to an international competition. We were it was either Montreal or Berlin. But anyway, they have this team, well, Reed, the scavenger hunts and all of this at the international trip. And it was Good Luck's first internationals. And I'm like, what is he doing in y'all group? And they were like, he's the leader. How in the hell is he the leader? And it's his first international trip. He don't know anything that's going on, but they were like, he got it. He got it. But Good Luck, thank you so much. I think that
if I could add one thing, and I do apologize, I should have said it earlier, but I do want to give a shout out to my school, the Texas Southern University. I was blessed to go to Baylor University for one semester before my funds ran out, but my identity didn't come into fruition until I came to the Texas Southern University, and it didn't come into fruition until I joined the debate team. And the crazy part was I joined the debate team when I started pharmacy school. And if you don't know, that's a doctoral program. So that was like probably the craziest thing, but it was probably one of the most beneficial things.
And just to give down the whole time.
Just a small shout out to the pharmacy department, because I was busy all over. I was part of SGA, Student Government Association, Chief Election Commissioner for a year and a half, and we've done amazing work there. I had the privilege of being able to host an entire health fair on our campus, because I also had a passion in pharmacy, and my goal was to get what I learned in pharmacy school and give it to the community that needs it the most. As we saw during the coronavirus, a lot of our community, African American community, they don't have the health resources, they don't have the time to go get checkups, and so we had everything from mental health. We had blood pressure, because African Americans have a higher tendency of having high blood pressure. We had diabetes checks. We had STDs. We had sickle cell disease. We had everything. It was just such a blessing to learn from that institution and be able to put it into work. And that's all I got to say.
I was saying this is a statement. I think, and I completely echo Good Luck sentiments. Like, I did not form my identity until I got to Texas Southern. And I thank God for TSU every day. I would not be the person I am if it was not for the Texas Southern University, and if it was not for the debate team and being on under the tutelage from Dr. Thomas F. Freeman. I just would not be who I am without it. And I would not.
Y'all put an S on my chest, baby. Every time I hear on my chest, baby. Yep.
And then
No.
and it's perfect. Like, we got an issue, so I'm not saying that, but it was perfect for me in the moment that I needed it. And I came, married with a baby, and I was really trying to figure out who I was. And the professors on the campus and the team just gave me that room to figure me out. And I always be grateful.
Yeah. Well, I always say that there is no such thing. There's no absolute perfection, but there is an absolute perfection for you in that moment. So in that moment, what may not be perfect for the next person can be absolutely perfect for you, because it can be your savior. But I do have to point out, because I'm like Good Luck, and I will get toe up if I don't say this. Y'all were talking about everybody was talking about pledging and everything, and I'm a member of two fraternities. One that I not so much care to talk about too much publicly, but the other, I do want to make sure I point out that I am the national president for Gamma Mu Phi Fraternity Incorporated. We have over 16 chapters nationwide, and we now have 2 international chapters in the work. We have over 700 members strong, and we are a group of same-sex loving Black and brown men that are all in their profession. So I do want to make sure I point that out, because that is something that is dear to my heart, and I will get completely roasted if somebody sees this and I did not say it. But they know that I love Gamma Mu Phi more than anything. But I love the other one also. I'm not in love right now. But that was great, guys.
That's understandable.
I have to give a shout out to the of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, 1920. I just have to give out shout out to all of my beautiful sisters. So I just want, and my brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated.
Well, look at them. Well, what we gonna do?
We know Dr. Matthews.
Just be doing Greek letters. I'll let her go. Let me throw mine after her.
We know Dr. Matthews Sarwar is trying to be vice president of these United States of America.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And
Your Sarwar, my sister.
Even though I am inactive like a big dog, I am a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Okay, I am also a proud member of the Order of the Eastern Star.
All right, sister. I see you, sister.
And I am also a proud Mason.
Hold on, I ain't.
I'm a proud Mason, baby. Come on.
And squares here today.
Yeah, I'm a past master, past worthy patron.
I am also
4-letter.
I'm a PHA Mason.
The Herald.
Yes, PHA.
Which is
I'm Abraham Grand Lodge all day, baby. This will turn it up.
Real quick. I just wanted to give a special shout out to the debate team. It ain't Divine Nine or nothing, but
But it
it's
is
important to
Sigma
our
Pi Alpha.
development.
Yes,
Sigma Pi Alpha.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, no, it made sure we kept everything we needed in check, and
wrong with
just
Sigma
go ahead and
Pi?
throw out some Phi Lambda Sigma, PLS debate pharmacy, and then also PDC Phi Delta
Oh
Chi.
Lord.
Hey,
I'm done.
Well, guys, it's been great.
They ain't Divine Nine, but I wait for those.
Yes.
it ain't D9,
Well,
but I'm
guys, it's been great.
I got a
It's
quote.
been beautiful.
We D9 in the pharmacy realm, though. They know who we are.
It's beautiful looking at all of this blackness, looking at all of this unity. I love the fact that we can all share the different things that we're doing, and somehow we have all made our way to the same space. And that was for a reason. That was for us to put together all the things we have learned from even you from Kappa, everything that you have learned. I'm sure y'all learned. No, I'm just playing. Invictus.
But I'm
I'm just playing.
What I'm not gonna play with him.
I'm just playing.
No, Wendell, I'm not gonna play with him trying to throw shade on my little quote either.
Which quote?
From Tuesday.
Listen.
From Tuesday. Look, she hold grudges.
She held
Talking
that
about
quote
Tuesday.
Yeah,
Let me tell you something about Kappas, man.
baby, excuse me.
Wait.
I have
We not gonna. Okay.
gonna be befitting.
okay.
Man, you already know how Kappas are all over the globe. They concentrating on keeping their shoulders thin.
Quick, because today is September 1st, and since we're talking about Kappas, I have to just acknowledge Christopher Gaston. He was a member of Kappa Alpha Psi at Texas Southern University, and he has transitioned from us from 5 years ago. So, Muli, I just want to say that I remember you and love you, and I just want to put your name out in the ether so you'll know that we're always talking about you. Like you're always our dominance.
Absolutely.
That brother is.
Do you have a quote for us, Dr. Matthews? Or are you scared?
I sure do.
Okay.
I'm ready for you. You understand?
Listen, I got nothing to say. I'm here.
Okay. Here it is, y'all. We all have dreams. In order to make dreams come into reality, it takes an awful lot of determination, dedication, self-discipline, and effort. That comes from Jesse Owens, who was the record-setting Olympic athlete.
Amen.
Can you read it once more? Because that was more of a paragraph than a quote. Can you read it once more?
Well, it's a quote went down, so don't.
This I'll be laughing backstage. Y'all don't be seeing me most of the time, but I'll be laughing my butt off backstage.
We all have dreams. In order to make dreams come into reality, it takes an awful lot of determination, dedication, self-discipline, and effort. Jesse Owens, record-setting Olympic athlete.
That is a quote, Wendell. It's only
Awesome.
2 minutes.
Awesome.
Actually, it's 3 sentences. No, it's 2.
She's trying to help you out. She's trying to help you out.
I just had it. I know what. I did.
Well, guys, I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. It's been great.
Have a good one,
Any
guys.
closing words before we get up out of here?
Enjoy that weekend.
I feel like we've been on here all night.
Make sure y'all share this video, follow our YouTube page, our Facebook page, our Twitter, our Instagram. We are doing all of this just for you. So if we can't, if you got to help us out a little bit. So just share those pages, like them, and tell us your comments. We really want to make this about you. So what are you learning? What are you getting from this? And if you comment during our live show, we'll definitely put it up. So we're looking forward to your engagement.
And may the
That
shade
was him telling us how we should do it. That was him showing us how he would like for us to do it.
And I'm gonna say this.
Put your heart into it.
And this is gonna be what I was gonna say. And may the
all right,
shade,
good night, Dr. Matthews.
and
What
may
we
the
do, we
shade
do
be
well.
with
What we
you,
don't
honey.
do well, we don't do
I like
at all.
that.
Oh, see y'all.
May the
All right,
shade be
guys.
with you.
Have a good one.
And that little girl was me.